Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant IB back again. And all right, a brother sent me this on Facebook. Let me shout him out real quick. Um, because he sent me this link and then I looked into another one. Okay. Hey, what's up, Frankie? Frankie sent this to me. Hold on for a second. So as I was saying, I was looking up the brother, and I'm gonna just call him out, Frankie, right? And he put me on to this, right? And the knock at my door was somebody I gave one of my extra braces to for my knees, and name was Ted, and he came up with this. All right, we was talking about some of the women that kind of like me, but I'm not in that street drug life, and so what happens is they don't want nothing to do with me at this point in their life, right? But while I am still growing, by the time they decide to get off that, like at 35 and 40, I don't want them because they're not even, when they've started to grow, they're just starting to grow and they're not even where I used to be. Because I keep growing, I keep learning things, I keep improving upon myself, I keep learning things from others, right? Like Frankie, all right? And there was another group that I got mixed up with that a lot of stuff comes out of, right? Um, and there was a brother from one of these groups. I think it was, what was it? Pookie Tales. All right, Pookie Tales, right? And oh no, free speech for a black man, free speech for a black man, right? And so a lot of this stuff and a lot of this knowledge comes from out of there, right? And so these females don't get it, right? And this woman, I think, has a husband, all right? And she's telling the truth. But then I got a clip from Donovan Sharp where he had a guest on, and they're discussing um, why the black women are H8ing, the Bfems and the BTNs are H8ing the Afro men going to Brazil and living in Brazil. All right. So as we kick this off, um, kick this off, let me greet everybody who were in Hardu Guda Ola Oi to the Bang, Fossis Los Bonjour Mes Amis, Kedabawani Konnichiwa, Ni Hao Ni Ama, Sani Bonani, Jambo Baragani, Assalamu alaikum and Shalom. All right. So first off, let me remind everybody, let's get those thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click the notification bell. All right. I'm still the community, whatever we make from here is still going to go to the community or go back to reimburse what is going into the community. Right now, we're just doing shoes in a general neighborhood because there's a lot of these parents that's taking their children to school and have no shoes. So I'm working with some of the a social worker that works in the school. So she got dual jobs, right? And I'm like, wow, really? And again, these children got big feet, size 9 in middle school. I'm like, what in the world is going on? So if you like to help this channel out in what we do, what this channel does in the community here and abroad, my PayPal me link will be in the description box, and you could donate by just clicking that link. It takes less than 30 seconds. But understand this, you still take care of yourself and family first. All right. So now back to this. So these BFIMs and stuff like that, they said we didn't need you. We did all this work. We did this, we did that, and mind you, you haven't done anything. The system promoted you over the men. All right, you wanted to be the man, and now you have all the man's stresses and stuff. You don't work and moved yourself up and all of that stuff, right? And you're working middle management, and you think you're something. All of a sudden, you're getting old. You're making money, but wait a minute, you're still having babies from thugs, right? The Bfems, the BTNs. All right. There's a reason why they're choosing the thugs, though. And this sister here breaks it down seriously. All right. And I want you to hear her out, but she really breaks it down. It's what I've been saying, right? And if these Bfems, well, they're not going to listen to me because they're not even, they'll come and try to tear my stuff down. Even though I'm gonna tell you this much. When I took shoes to the school, right? So far, all the people that were able to get the shoes that I took to the school, these are new Nike shoes, stuff that people aren't going to be embarrassed to wear, but might be better than some of the children are wearing. All these have been so far the children of the Bfem, the females, right? And this is why I like to give stuff out myself. Because when you work with the system, it seems like the people that benefit the most are the people that try to tear me apart and tear down my finances so I can't help nobody. Right? And so it's not like I'm getting a lot of donations anyway, so I might just start wrapping it up completely here in the United States. And another reason is I think one of the many of the children that come by, I think their parents are no longer, or parent, single mother is no longer going to be living in the apartments. All right, they are kicking it up a notch on that non-payment of rent stuff. All right, now I will say this: all these women that's getting a left foot of fellowship, the 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 dealers and the thugs have more access to their homes than me, the person that they were glad was around because I looked out for the children. I want you to understand that. But there's a reason to that. And I'm going to let this sister break down the reason to that. All right? Hear her out. He didn't send me her name. Frankie didn't. But if you go to my Facebook, Reluctant Navi Afro Man, you might see him posted around in there, and we can figure out who this woman is. All right, here she is, right? And the only man's back, which these women never have any good man's back, and they only have the man's back that they could control, right? And part of them controlling him is sending him to the slammer. But that's what they call having his back. And when he gets out, he can go back to her. Why? Because she controls him. Remember I said what I said about when they said black people own slaves and it was 68% female? What do you think it is now? Well, let her break it down.
The real fact of the matter is, a lot of sisters do not want good men. They prefer these type of brothers that don't have goals, that don't have a good job, that don't have drive, that don't have ambition, that aren't good protectors, that lack in these areas where a man should be plentiful in. They go for these type of men instead of a good man, because when they have this type of brother, they can tell him everything he's doing wrong. They can belittle him. They can disrespect him. And they like that. That's why.
Ooh. Now, mind you, this is coming from one of them. She's been in them conversations, and she has intimate knowledge of how these females discuss us, the Afro men, in these conversations. Pay attention.
When they were talking about it, they were laughing, they were giggling, they were giving each other high five. Like, yes, I talk to my man like that too. I could tell my man that too. Ha ha ha. They think it's funny because they like the idea that they feel superior over their man. They like feeling like they are in control of him. They like that position of authority, of power. They like being able to say, get the fuck up.
There you go. All right. There you go. Authority, power, control. You know, control. Now see, you got a lot. Control, cabbage patch. Oh, my neck is hurting now. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, back to what she's saying.
Off my couch. I'm about to kick you out my house. You need to do this. You ain't shit. They like being able to talk to men like that. They like that. But if the role was reversed and they did have a good man, now they can't talk to him like that. They can't be disrespectful to him. Now they actually have to watch their mouth. Now they have to level up. Now they might actually have to be submissive. Hold up.
And the one thing we know that the Bfems and the BTN do not want to do is be submissive to an Afro man. They want to control an Afro man, but they do not want to submit to who they know is the child of the Most High. This is why they like any other man. While other men look to the Afro men as far as spiritual guidance, and every system of religion and stuff is modeled after the Afro man's systems of following the Most High. I don't care how corrupted, like Egyptology, Islam, and all of this stuff. All religions have its roots from Afro men in their guidance to follow either a god, meaning the Nephilim, the Watchers and stuff like that, or the Most High. That would be the Israelite, the Hebrews, the descendants of Abraham. All right? So this is what you have. But nevertheless, you have this relationship where the man is the closest thing to that deity. And more than that, it's the melanated man. All right? So everybody, when it comes to spirituality, all right, of the most high, everybody's roots of all their spirituality come from out of Africa. You best believe that. All right? So, what the Bfems do, like she says, the ones that she can't control, she just totally dismissed them and tell them that even in all that they've accomplished, they're nothing. Now, if they accomplish the same thing, they're something. But when a man accomplishes a degree or something like, oh, that's just squash.
This is one of the reasons why women prefer those type of men over good men. Because a good man is a man that is plentiful in all these areas where these other men lack. The brothers that you do pay attention to, they lack in these areas where good men actually have this stuff, you know, they have the goal, the ambition, the drive. If they don't have a lot of money, they're working towards it. You know what I mean? They are protectors. They are leaders. They provide guidance and all this, the knowledge and the strategic planning and all this other stuff that comes with being a good, strong, masculine black man. They have all of this. So now he can actually turn around and tell you where you lack as a female, as a feminine woman. He can say, you're not feminine enough. You're not nurturing enough. You're not affectionate enough. You're not sexual enough. You don't have sex enough. You know, you're not sensual enough. You're not creative enough. You don't teach your children enough. You don't cook decent meals enough. You don't keep this house clean enough. And if a man tells you that, now, oh my goodness, he is controlling. He's a misogynist. He is a chauvinist. But it's okay for you to point out everything that a man does wrong. It's okay for you to tell him what he needs to do. It's okay for you to point out all his flaws and tell him all the areas he lacks as a man, but a man can't do that to you. That is a problem with black women, and we need to stop that. It is a huge problem. And a man that is a good man, he has standards. He's going to want you to do better. The same way you're going to want your no good brother to do better. He's going to want you to do better too. Because he has options. And that's another thing. Another reason why sisters don't want good men, because good men have options, and they understand that these women these options, they're good women. But the brother that's not a good man, his options are not women. They're the type of woman that you would say are no competition, right? So you don't have nothing to worry about with him. You feel like he only gonna be with some type of bummy chick. You know, you think. But with a good man, you know, he has some real good options. So you got to level up. That means you got to do some work with yourself. You have to change some things. You have to improve in some areas. You have to elevate. If sisters don't really, they not trying to really work on nothing. This whole feminist movement have made women feel like they're just perfect. Nothing they do is wrong. It's all on a man. So when you do have a good man, that's like, oh no, you need to work on this. You need to work on that. They don't like that. Now they feel inferior. Now they feel inadequate. No, they like to feel like they're perfect. They like to feel like they're the ones in control. So that's why they go for this man that don't have nothing, that doesn't do all the things that they want them to do. They lack standards. And I'm not even going to say they lack standards. They may have them, but they prefer this man that doesn't have the thing, doesn't have everything going on.
There it is.
Because they just like being able to belittle him, and they like being disrespectful because they can't disrespect the good man. They can't talk down on him.
Well, they can and do talk down on the good man. It's just that the good man take it ball and go home. Why? Because it's his ball. Where the bad man don't have a ball. He didn't think far enough in the future that he might need one. You see what I'm saying? So one of the things that really burns these women up is they want to use the resources of the good man. All right. But the good man got heft to the game. Oh yeah. Man, I sound like Randy Savage now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna be a beatdown in the old town tonight. Oh yeah. I should have been a wrestler. All right. But let's continue on. So let's look at this. You got people like Wahida Clark, that put thugs and the women that love them. Essence bestseller. So you got Essence magazine. Everybody's promoting the worst, right? Kissing tattoos, royalty publishing. Everybody's promoting everything that the Most High said was not supposed to be in the community. And so you got these publishers, you got Essence magazine, you got Hollywood, you got the whole entire left that's promoting this stuff, right? And the women are eating it up. Right? But they're eating it up to their own detriment. Right? Because the good brothers, we're leaving and we ain't looking back. We like, you're trifling. And we ain't looking back. Right? And so I want y'all to hear this from, just hear this out. This is going to be, Donovan Sharp. That's what it is. Donovan Sharp. And this was a guest on this show.
She believes that all men want, or all men really care about, is looks. And all they.
This was a Florida caller that they're discussing that came in, and they believed that she was a genuine caller, right? And this is where women lose it. Yes, we're men. We want looks just like women want looks. But what it is they want to have looks, but they don't want us to worry about their looks. In other words, they want to let themselves go. All right, they don't have anything we want outside of looks because they made themselves that way. But then they expect us to be 6 feet, 6-pack, and 6-figure income. All right, let's get further into this.
What they care about is just the sexual aspect and nothing more. And from a very visceral standpoint, I have to agree with her. Yes, because that's where it starts.
Yes,
that's where it is. But what comes after that? Where's the value out? Where's the value added once we've got past the sexual side of things? Right now, that's nowhere, because women, like you were just saying, they've gone and and more power to them. They're going off to college. They're going and earning degrees. They're going out and through whatever social mechanism, they're going into the workforce. They're more out. I mean, they're not as represented as men in the workforce just yet, but they're becoming more and more. And they're certainly overrepresented in academia right now.
Oh, yeah.
So when you look at that, and just like we were talking about before, we see a woman who, especially in this documentary, they want some guy who is at or above what they believe is their sexual market value. And just like I was telling that woman on Redman Group last Saturday, The problem with that is that these women, including the ones in the documentary, cannot separate their sexual market value from whatever it is that they perceive as their personal worth.
Yes.
Let me just say this. So this is from PSCP TV. All right, but I'm gonna put the link in the description box. So look in the description box. It'll be right under the donation link if you want to hear this conversation in full.
They
Yes.
believe that if they make themselves more like a man, if they make them masculize themselves more, if they achieve the same things as a man, if they freeze their eggs and
Oh,
decide that
boy.
they're going to, put their career before everything else. Now, honestly, I think that's kind of a load of shit. But
Well,
and I'll tell you
obviously.
why. I'll tell you why in a minute. But they decide that let's just say, for instance, that is a genuine concern of them. They want to go and do all that, and they want to basically live the same lifestyle that they think or they see sort of these apex men living, and they want to have it all, just like you were saying. They think that later on they'll be able to have kids, which is another big lie.
Yep.
They think that they're going to meet Mr. Right at some point, and their whole lives are going to just perfectly coalesce. By the time they're 40, they'll have achieved something in a career, and they're having their kids, and they're moving
Yes.
on with their
Oh my
lives
God,
and that kind of
yes.
stuff, and they think that they can have it all. The problem is that in the course of trying to have it all, there's a lot of consequences and a lot of liabilities that
There you
come
go,
along
man.
with that. And one of those is that the more a woman makes herself more masculine, the
Yes.
more she tries to do that, the less she is able to really apply herself to being insightful, or to actually even want to create something in herself or improve herself, so that she has some value added beyond just what the sexual is. So I see a lot of women complaining today that men just sexually objectify them, right? They just want to have
Yes.
sex, right? That's all
Right.
they care about. But the thing is that women make themselves sexual commodities because there's nothing else that they have of value
Boom.
beyond that. Because
Wow.
they're encouraged not to develop anything beyond that. Because why? They're told not to do anything expressly for the pleasure of a man.
Man, oh
So
man.
that's I see that as now when you pick when you take that principle and you move on with it into the black community with these women that we're looking at in the documentary, that turns into entitlement.
Yes.
Because they believe that if they've achieved all this stuff, they are entitled to having it all. They think that I've got my degree.
Yep.
I started my own business. I think I'm an entrepreneur. Maybe I'm in middle management now. I have achieved what the feminist dream of sort of some sort of male equivalency, if not equality. I am now living the male dream. Now I want to have the female dream as well. Well, you can't have that.
No.
Because what it took to get you to the male dream is conflicts with
Yes. You sacrifice a lot of that
with the
femininity
female
along
side.
the way. Like, in order to move up the corporate ladder, in order to be successful, you have to exhibit masculine qualities. And at
Right.
some point along the way, you lose some of that femininity permanently because you've been acting like a man for so long, your brain just kind of forgets the muscle.
Yeah, exactly. The brain forgets the muscle memory to what it is to be a female, because the only thing you've wanted to be was a man. And this is what's been lost on black women. This is why they don't get it, right? And this is why Afro men are going to any other woman but them. All right? Because the only thing they want to do with an Afro man that has his stuff together is fight. I had a woman that worked in the office that told me, a black woman that told me she don't care about what kind of evidence I come up with. She don't like Trump because somebody told her not to. And what I saw was the same woman that has the same feelings about me as an Afro man, that no matter what good I do, even though I did give her a soccer ball because she works, and around a lot of the people that I gave them to everybody. So I'm not going to just not give it to the black. I just don't do it like that, right? But if I see a bunch of, let me put it to you this way: I try to stay away from that group of women, period, right? Because of what she said. No matter what kind of evidence I have that supports that I am wrong in my assertions about people, my feelings matter more than evidence and more than what they show me. So a man can show her love, a man can be doing the right things, but she doesn't care. Because if she makes up in her mind, just because of her feelings, that she's not going to like you as a man, she will not like you. Period. And that's the problem with these Bfems. So for a long time, these women have preferred these thugs and all the rest of that is because they are the easiest manipulated men in all of Hollywood and everything. Their motivation is money and money only, and they don't care about much. And once you get them into the system, not only do they not know how to get out, but you wonder if they want out of the system anyway. It's because they gave into corruption a long time ago when they would sell out their community. That's why they are so easy to be controlled. All right, you tell them, oh, you got a conscience now? We'll take your money. Remember, their goal is to make money. Who taught them that? Oh, yeah, they mama black. Was that said? I'm out.